Yeah. Act like you're studying.
All right, folks, got Tennessee head coach Rick Barnes here and senior guard Jakobi Gillespie, career high 32 points today. We'll go right into questions. Start with Byron.
Rick, how do you get your team to go from what they just did to prepare for a physical UC team tomorrow?
Well, it's difficult, obviously, when you play. But it's a tough, 3 games for everyone out here, and just great respect. Kelvin and I have known each other as long as anybody in the business, and great respect for Kelvin and his team. And we'll get back and do everything pretty much in the ballroom. Get ready. Obviously, we've got to know it's going to be a hard physical game. We know each other, and but really proud of the effort of these guys today. I thought Jakobi was terrific. Continues to do what we need him to do, learning how to run the point for our team. But tomorrow, there's no doubt that he'll have a lot of pressure pushed his way, along with Nate, and the physicality will be a little bit different probably. And but at this time of year, we, like most teams here, are still finding our way too. And you come out of this tournament knowing obviously a little bit more about yourself and what you need to go, which way you need to move, what direction in. But we'll look forward to it. We're here, and you love to play in big games, and that's what, again, they're all big, obviously, but we know it's going to be a very, very physical game.
Rick, it looked like you had said something to Nate after you pulled him early in the first half, I think around 12 minutes. He had only taken 1 field goal to that point. After he went back in, much more assertive, to I think 3 straight. Just what was your message to him, and what did you think about his response?
You said Nate?
Yes.
Nate, he's a very, very unselfish player. He's played it. We obviously had 2 scrimmages, one against Ohio State, one against Duke, and then we played our games at home when we're here. He's learned something every game. He knows. He went through some games where he pressed too hard early, just being a competitive player, wanting to try to make something happen early as opposed to letting the game come to him. And he's getting better and better with that. He missed a shot. I was really impressed because he had been struggling a little bit from the 3. And the one thing we've told him, we don't doubt it. When you're open, we expect you to shoot it, and we expect it to go in. And I thought after he missed the first one, he really made a great effort to set down on the next one, and you could just almost feel like the lid came off of his thought process in terms of, okay, I'm good to go here. But he's only going to get better and better, just understanding how people are guarding him, adjusting from game to game, and he really has done a pretty good job overall with that, and I expect he'll continue to do that. He'll be a different player 6 weeks from now than he is right now because of his mindset and so unselfish, and whatever it's going to take to help us try to win games, he's going to do it.
Rick, it's one thing to be versatile, but for Jakobi to have so much success on the ball and off the ball, how rare is that? How much does that help with,
Well, he'd rather shoot it 50 times a game. Am I right?
I mean, I shot 20, so.
Yeah. You know what? He's a very versatile player, and we do want him off the ball. That was why it was important that we like him off the ball, but we also like him with the ball. He's learning really for the first time in his career to play with a guy that he can lob to. I mean, he's never had guys he can lob to, and he's got a number of different guys on our team, so he's had to learn that. He's had to learn our system, what we're trying to do, but I think what he's done really the last couple games, he's really been able to get his teammates involved, but yet keep himself involved, and he'll get better with that too. And we've seen him. He had 36 or so in the scrimmage against Ohio State, and so we've seen him have days like this shooting it. And the next game against Duke, he came out pressing too much. I think he learned from that he's just gotten better as a point guard off the ball. He knows how to play. He does, but I think he truly, in our opinion, certainly one of the very best point guards in the country. We wouldn't trade him for anybody. But off the ball too, we love him doing that because he's going to move, get open, and he's just very unselfish.
Rick, how important was it for you guys to get Bishop and JP back, and what did you see from those two?
Well, we coming out here, we didn't know they were going to play. We really didn't, and that's, they were both have done a great job of the rehab. Spending time with Chad and G, and just really working at trying to get back. But when we walked into practice yesterday, they were both said they were going to try a little bit, and we left them not much. And today we kept them. We knew we had just a few minutes. We were going to play them to see how they responded. They responded well from practice yesterday. We'll see how tomorrow, because we got to obviously play the long game. But I thought Bishop defensively, I thought both of them, for the fact they haven't had much practice, came in and did a good job for us.
Jakobi, what did your morning look like leading into the game? Do you prefer to play all games at 10 o'clock in the morning now? And what was just working so well for you today?
I would say it wasn't really hard to get up because I think I'm still used to Eastern time, so I got up probably like 6:30. But I'll say what was going for me was just when I hit my first one, it felt good, and then we were just running our offense, and they were going under a lot of stuff and leaving me open, so I was able to knock it down.
Jakobi, when you have a guy like Nate, that size and versatility, how does that open up the floor for someone like you and your team?
Yeah, I mean, it opens it up a lot because, they're not going to help off him, and if they do, he'll make them pay. So just being able to try those gaps and also play off of him, because he's obviously a good scorer, but he's also unselfish, so it really opens it up.
You were Arash, Cora, Ben, are the last three that I saw.
So Rick, you've had some great teams, great tandems. This tandem of Jakobi and Nate has the potential to be the best tandem in the country, but they're only going to get better, obviously, in the course of the year. What do you like about those two players?
Well, first I like about them, they both have great work ethics. They want to be good. They know they got to get better. They don't take practice lightly. They come in and they work, and how good they can be. They can be special. There's no doubt about that, because I think any time you're willing to put the work in that they do, and both of them are very unselfish, and they're still learning to play with each other. I can tell now when we get into some actions where they are really starting to see each other, find each other, which is important, obviously. And defensively, they both are a work in progress in terms of what they have to do. Jakobi now is he's going to get hit a lot. He's guarding the ball. He's gotten so much better in the time he's been with them. He is really, I think he can be elite on both ends of the court. Nate is, physically, as people are trying to really get after him, but he's gotten better and will continue to get better. So when I think about both of them, it's not just one or two things they do, it's their all-around game, and they both really have really good basketball IQs. They can adjust pretty quick on the fly, which is obviously very important from a coaching standpoint.
Cora and then Ben, last two.
And Jakobi, I felt like Nate really showed what he's capable of offensively today, just from his three-point shooting, making tough jumpers. Just what do you think of how he played offensively?
I thought he played good. I got on him at the beginning because he didn't shoot an open three, but I feel like he was just kind of letting the game come to him and not trying to force anything. So, yeah, I feel like he played great offensively.
All right, we'll go to Ben for the last question.
Rick, with Bishop, just how much does his energy and defense really set the tone? He checks into the game and immediately dives on the floor for this ball coming off of injury.
Well, Bishop had the good fortune to get to play against Jemai Mashak for a year, and he understands the importance of that role, and can be better at it in terms of he was able to learn from a guy that could really impact the game on that end. And Bishop's gotten himself in really terrific cardio shape where he can play even when he's tired, which is you've got to be able to do that if you're going to sustain that kind of effort. But he's got great feet, and but he's got it's an identity that he really wants to create for himself, and he's Bishop played football in high school, and he's got that kind of mentality that he's not afraid to get there and lock up with somebody and really go at it with them. And again, I was really impressed with him today for the fact that he hadn't really practiced since the games he's missed, and but he stayed focused in terms of where we were with in practice every day, and just really proud of what he did today. But he's got a chance to be as good as he wants to be.
One last one from Byron.
Rick reports that this tournament is going to expand next year and years beyond that. What's the value being in this tournament? Where's your team without an event like that?
Well, I think anytime you're in a situation this time of year with high-level competition, and it is. I mean, you know, every team pretty much from a Power Four conference, and but we're all still trying to figure out too, for the most part. I mean, there's a couple teams in the country I think are with returning players. You know, we know how important retention is, but when you have as many young guys as we have, and a lot of teams, it really is helpful. It is, and you know. Obviously, it's a great tournament. When it expands, it's only going to get better and better. But I just think it's great to have a chance to play against the level of competition that these guys get to before we got a month or so away before we get into conference play, and you get a chance to really leave here and know which direction you need to move with your team.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks to the local media.